Okay, so in this video, I'm just documenting my progress in my little quest to achieve a quadruped character. And I've had a lot of failures over the last couple months, but I decided to go back to the drawing board today and try it again, especially now that Puppet Producer can make the rigging process a lot faster. I decided to go ahead and try it, so I created two different versions of a horse type character. And the very first one, the template looks like this. This is basically how I was trying to approach it. I went ahead and created, the typical upper torso, arms for the front legs, and in the area behind, I also have my back view definitions. Um, let's see here. Here's my back view, and I try to make this as kind of try to keep it as basic as possible, so as not to waste time. Basically, I'm just trying to get the structure, make it, if I can get the character to work as far as a basic framework, then I could always use what I learned to build a final character from that. But this is basically the character I created first, and it didn't quite work out the way I wanted, and this is the result of that template. It doesn't look too bad, and almost from the start, the skeletal system is pretty much in place. Let me see if I can open this up in the composer. So basically the character, once it's imported, ends up looking like that, and it's like really weird. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of fixing to be done. There's this giant bone there. I don't know. I don't know how to work with this one. I'm not sure if there's too much that I can do to fix it or to make it any better. But after a lot of the motions do kind of work by default, because as far as Crazy Talk is concerned, that's an average skeleton. It's just placed all weird like. This is the basic human walk, and this is the way that Crazy Talk is translating it against this particular character. The benefit, I guess, to using this particular method would be that even though the character is quadruped, you might still be able to drop in a lot of predefined walk cycles and run cycles and stuff like that, and probably make it work with a few tweaks, but I don't know. It requires a little bit more research. Now, the second character I built, let's see if I can go back. The second character that I built uses a different type of template. This one, I basically created the character in a way that it's more anthropomorphic or human-like in its qualities, but the placement of the sprites would be placed and rotated in a way that when the character is placed on all fours, is bent over, certain parts would align. For example, if the character is standing erect, this would be like the hip area. So once he's standing on all fours, it would turn into something like this. So that's the theory behind it. There's a lot of research that still needs to be done on it, but a lot of it is just kind of guesswork. So anyways, this particular character, once it's imported into Crazy Talk, ends up with something that looks like this. So it's basically a human in a horse costume type of thing. Let me see if I can go into the character composer. So this particular character, once it's imported into Crazy Talk, it's translated into something that looks like this. So it doesn't have the animal proportions. It's basically a a humanoid character. But once you take it into the software, once you take it into the main animation area, you can use the 3D editor to basically adjust the character the way you want them to be. And for animation purposes, this particular character seems to have worked a lot better for me. I don't think using a lot of the default animations is going to work on this, because when you drop a walk cycle onto this character, all he's going to do is he's going to stand up and start walking, and we don't want that. We want him to stay on all fours. So basically, I was playing around with different types of like little just rough animations. So you can see that 3D motion there. There's this one, more of a cheetah type animation. And this one, I was going for more of a chicken / dinosaur type animation. So anyways, close that down, play. So this is kind of the result so far. The first template basically yields something that looks like this, and I don't know, with a little bit more work, we may or may not be able to make it actually useful. I don't know, because there's a lot of like layering stuff that takes place here that I'd rather not deal with. However, the second one, where you treat the character sort of like an unwrapped animal, basically unwrap them into a human form type of thing, and then rewrap them later once you're inside of the software, like recontort it. You end up with like something that looks like this, and there's a lot less layering issues involved. Although, because of the fact that there's not really any quadruped characters on the Reallusion marketplace, unless you know how to animate or are comfortable, animating manually, you're gonna have a hard time finding animations that'll work with these characters, because it is kind of a workaround, because it's technically still a biped. It's just you're just animating him running around in 4 legs. So I'm assuming that even if you find motion capture data that's for animals, it's probably still not going to work, because the skeletal structure for those things was probably created for animals in the first place, not for biped characters. Anyways, I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you have any suggestions, ideas, questions. I'm determined to get a quadruped character created before the end of the month. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks.